कोई बात है होने वाली है ये मैंने करी होती है
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, children. How are you all?
Ma'am, good.
Ma'am, good.
Okay.
Ma'am, this is socials class.
Yes, this is socials class. There is a slight change now. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I think earlier it used to be your computer class, but now it is socials.
Okay. Ma'am, civics or history?
Yeah, it is history.
Okay, ma'am.
I think in history we are over with the chapter question answers we have to do today.
No, ma'am.
Then?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta.
We have done till
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. We have done till where?
visualizing the nation.
Okay.
Ma'am, history we have to do today.
Yes, history we have to do.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So we have history, chapter 1, right? I think visualizing the nation, I told you people to tell me that what exactly you have read in that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How? Now, visualizing this, visualizing nation, what exactly you have understood in this? That day also we discussed, but we'll have a short discussion and we'll proceed on to the next topic. Tina, we have you here in the class, Tina? Is Tina there in the class? Beta Tina, are you there? Can you hear me? Jigyasa?
Good morning,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good morning. I think Tina has, okay. Jay, what is in the visualizing of nation? Jay, what do we have in the visualizing the nation?
I mean, in visualizing the nation, we read that the artists in 18th and 19th centuries found a way to represent the nation by personifying it and by using various symbols and to portray the ideas of liberty, justice, and republics, etc.
Right. Right. Okay. In short, visualizing the nation was basically portraying the nation into a female figure where people could, relate directly to these allegories, right? In the form of allegories, these female figures were personified and then they were called as allegories, and these allegories basically they were made so that people could, easily relate to them, right? When we talk of these allegories in India, we know that the image of Bharat Mata was created and it was painted also. Two different people did that. In France also, what do you call, Marina was created. In Germany, it was Germania. So different nations because during the nation state, when during the building of the nation states, these different allegories were made so that people could directly relate to them, and it could, arouse a feeling of oneness among the people. This is what you have in this visualizing the nation.
Nation.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to the
Yes, ma'am.
next, do you really want me to read this?
And we
Ma'am,
have
we have
already
done
read.
the reading. We have done the reading of.
Okay. Now coming to the next topic that we have, it is the Balkan issues. See, we all know that by the 19th century, almost throughout the Europe, there was a, there was a flow, there was a sweep that every country wanted to be part of the nation. They wanted to become nation state. But somewhere, in this concept of becoming nation state, things got mixed up. Nationalism, imperialism, both the things got mixed up. Now, now how to explain this concept, they have given you example of this Balkan issues. Now, what was this Balkan? Do you know? Class, do you know what were
Balkan.
Ma'am,
No,
where different the like ethnic groups were there.
Okay. What else?
Ma'am, in the book it is written that the Balkans was a region of
Intense.
geographical and ethnic variation
Was under the
comprising
Ottoman
modern
Empire.
day Romania.
Okay. What else? What else they have given?
Ma'am, it says that the most serious source of nationalist tension in Europe was the area called the Balkans.
Balkans. Now see what was this Balkan issue? The Balkan states, they are the present day. When we talk of the Balkan states, they are the present day Romania. Can anybody read out the names for me?
Romania, Albania,
Ma'am, may I?
Ma'am, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, Montenegro,
Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria, Greece, Bosnia, Herzegovina. What else?
Ma'am, Albania,
Albania,
Serbia,
Serbia,
Croatia.
Croatia,
Slovenia, Slovenia,
Slovenia,
and ma'am, Montenegro.
Montenegro. Fine. Now all these countries which were there, they comprised the Balkan states, right? Now, why these states were considered to be the states of intense, seriousness or ethnic tension, ethnic groups, they were of a very good geographical, location. Now, all these countries which were there, I hope I am audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
See, all these countries which were there, these countries, they were under the control of one single ruler. Can you name that empire?
Ottoman
Ottoman
Empire.
Empire.
Ottoman Empire.
Ma'am, Ottoman Empire.
Ottoman Empire.
Very
Ma'am,
good.
Ottoman.
The Ottoman Empire, all these countries were under the control of Ottoman Empire. See, Greece was one such country which attained its independence in the year. Which year? Class, Greece, in which year? Yes.
Please repeat.
Question is, in which year Greece attained its independence from the Ottoman Empire?
1821.
Yes, 1832. It was 1832.
Okay, ma'am.
The treaty was signed, no, if you remember? The Treaty of
Yes, ma'am.
Constantinople? Huh. Yes.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
see, except for Greece, all the other countries which were there, they were under the control of Ottoman Empire for quite a long time. And I think 1871. It was somewhere in 1871 that these countries, they attained their independence from the Ottoman Empire. Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see why these, why it is called as the Balkans, because Balkans were the present day all these countries which were known as the people of these countries, they were known as Slavs. They were known as Slavs, right?
Slavs or slaves?
No, Slavs. Slaves, no, Slavs, right? They were known as,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Now, why they were known as Slavs? Because they were part of one unit which was under the control of Ottoman Empire. Now, all these countries which were there, we all know that Ottoman Empire since 15th century, they had controlled maximum regions of the European states, right? Most of the,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
most of the European states were under the control of Ottoman Empire. The early Ottoman Empire rulers, they were very strong, they were very powerful, they were very courageous. And once they captured one of these states, and they kept on, increasing their control over the nearby territories which were there. But the later rulers of Ottoman Empire, they were not as strong as the early rulers. So what happened when the concept of nation state was growing up, when this nationalism was growing, during that time, many of the nations, which were many of the states which are under the control of Ottoman Empire, they also started, struggling for their independence. So ultimately, Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman rulers, those who were there, they released their control over these areas. Now, after releasing the control over these areas, what happened? They all became independent, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But they were not able to digest this independence. Why? Because they knew that, since past, they were quite strong, they were quite powerful. So what they wanted, after the release of the control of the Ottoman Empire, they started fighting battles among themselves. They all started fighting with each other. They wanted to have control of the others' territories, which were under the control of the other rulers. So ultimately what happened? These all states, these all small countries which were there, they were fighting battles among themselves in order to expand their territories. Right? This much understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, Aiza.
Ma'am, Tina just now messaged me and she said that her meeting was reconnecting, so she could not answer.
It's okay, no problems. I know she got disconnected, from the meeting. It is fine, beta. No issues. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now it says that because this region was a region of geographical and ethnic variations, so there were many other European countries which wanted to acquire control over these regions or these countries, right? Now, because they had a very glorious past, they had a past where the rulers, where the people, the kingdoms, the rulers, those who were there, they were quite powerful and they were quite strong. So they wanted to show that they also belong, because they belonged to a glorious past. They had a history where the rulers were quite strong. So just to show to the other people that they were strong, they were powerful, they started fighting battles among each other in order to gain control over the regions or the territories of the other areas. Right? This is clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Many of the European powers at that time were the Russians. See,
Russia, France,
yeah,
England,
France,
Austro-Hungary,
Britain,
Germany,
then Hungary.
Germany.
Huh. Now, all these countries which were there, they were considered to be the powerful countries of the Europe. Now, because of the geographical location of these countries, the geographical location of these countries, European powers wanted to gain control over them. And they took the advantage of the battles that they were fighting among each other. These countries, they took advantage of it. Now they started gaining control over these areas. Now what happened? Like Russia captured some parts of, these countries, but France or Britain or Germany also wanted to capture the same areas. So because of this, what happened? Already the battles were going on over here, and then the battles or the wars started between these superpowers which were there at that time. So these battles ultimately, this conflict that was there, slowly it grew into, size, and many countries, they started joining, right? And because of the different countries joining these superpowers, what happened? It led ultimately to the First World War, which was declared in the year 1900 and when? 1914.
14.
Yes, fine. So ultimately, this Balkan states which were there, they became the reason for the First World War. I hope this is clear and understood to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when the topic says nationalism and imperialism. Now, what is imperialism? Do you know?
No, ma'am.
Anybody in the class?
No, ma'am.
Samarth? Raghav? Beta Raghav?
Yes, ma'am.
What is imperialism?
Yes, ma'am.
Batao? Tell beta.
Ma'am, may I try?
Yes, beta. Tell beta. Tell.
Ma'am, imperialism can be termed as when one powerful country rules over another less powerful one.
Yes. Perfect.
Ma'am, to become more superior.
To show that they are more superior than the other country, which they have taken control of, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
See, during that time, before somewhere in 1914, when the First World War started, before that, Britain had already gained control over many countries of the world, where Britain had made those countries as their colonies, right? We know about America. America had made South Africa its colony. Then Portuguese also, some parts of India were under the control of Portuguese. Some parts of the country of Indian continent, Indian subcontinent, were under the control of the Dutch. Some of them were under the control of French. Right?
Mughals.
Mughals, we are talking about the European powers right here. Okay, Viresh? So, of course, when
Yes,
Dutch, French, British, when these people came to India, before that, Mughals were already ruling over there in the country, right? They had full-fledged empire, established there in our country.
Yes, ma'am.
As the British, as the European, traders, they came into countries. Slowly, they tried to gain control over the regions where they were settled, and they wanted to, have control of those regions which were basically resourceful, right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what happened? Imperialism, when we are talking of imperialism, before the First World War started, before that only, many of the European countries, they had already captured the other countries of the world under their control and had made them their colonies. And when you look at the map that is shown on the last page of the chapter, where the chapter is ending, they have shown, most of the regions of the world were conquered, were under the control of Britain. So Britain was like, in a sense, you can say that the country Britain or England or, Great Britain came at a position where it had more control over the territories of the world than any other European country. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time in Europe, this nationalism was there, though in India and other countries, other Asian countries, it came quite late. But of course, this nationalism again, gained power, and maximum countries of the Asian continent, they started anti-imperialism movements where they wanted to get rid of the colonial control over their countries, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what
Yes, ma'am.
this is what you have in the whole chapter, a whole topic that comes under the imperialism and the nationalism, especially the Balkan issues. I hope it is all clear and understood to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you take 5 minutes to read the whole thing and let me know what you have not understood. Just 5 minutes you all take. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
You read
Okay, ma'am.
silently, you read, okay? Nobody will read loudly. Silently you read and let me know what you have not understood.
Excuse me, ma'am. Here it is written that by the last quarter of 19th century, nationalism no longer retained its idealistic liberal democratic sentiment. So, ma'am, what does it mean by idealistic liberal democratic sentiment?
लिबरल क्या भाई, लिबर्टी सबको दी जाएगी, बट जो कंट्रीज यूरोपियन
Yes, ma'am.
अंडर कंट्रोल में रह रही थी, तो ये चीज तो एकदम खत्म हो गई, समझ लो. डेमोक्रेटिक नॉर्म्स भी नहीं थे.
Yes, ma'am.
डेमोक्रेसी वाज नॉट प्रिविलेंट. एवरीबडी वाज नॉट गिवन द इक्वल राइट्स वाला थिंग. पॉलिटिकल इक्वालिटी कहाँ थी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में उस टाइम पे? ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
जिस मोटिव से नेशनलिज्म के कॉन्सेप्ट को लाया गया था, that thing was not prevalent anymore. People were trying to control other areas by being more powerful, expanding their territories, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what they have tried to explain.
Okay, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
बोलो बेटा.
Ma'am, can you once again explain me romantic nationalism?
रोमांटिसिज्म क्या था? रोमांटिसिज्म वाज लव फॉर द नेशन. यही तो था रोमांटिसिज्म.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
अब रोमांटिसिज्म को जब रोमांटिसिज्म स्प्रेड अप हुआ थ्रू आउट यूरोप, तो उसमें क्या था कि भाई लॉजिक और रीजनिंग को जो है बिल्कुल साइंसेस या टेक्नोलॉजी को बिल्कुल भी ये लोग अप्रूव नहीं करते थे. इनको लगता था लव टुवर्ड्स द कंट्री शुड बी देयर, जिनको की पोएट्री के थ्रू, स्टोरीज के थ्रू, ड्रामास के थ्रू, स्किट्स के थ्रू जो है स्प्रेड अप किया जाए, जस्ट टू क्रिएट oneness among the citizens, among the people sharing
ma'am.
common identities. ठीक है, यही चीज तो था रोमांटिसिज्म में. तो बाल्कन्स में भी
Yes, ma'am.
रोमांटिसिज्म जब रोमांटिक नेशनलिज्म जब स्प्रेड अप हुआ बाल्कन्स में, और जब ओटोमन एम्पायर ने अपना कंट्रोल रिलीज कर दिया, तो क्या हुआ, इन लोगों के अंदर भी जो है वो मातृ प्रेम जो है जागा, लव टुवर्ड्स दी मदरलैंड या फादरलैंड कह लो. तो वो चीज जब अराउज हुआ तो इन लोगों ने क्या करा, अपने एरियाज को, अपने टेरिटरीज को स्प्रेड अप करना शुरू कर दिया था. तो रोमांटिसिज्म वाज बेसिकली अ फीलिंग where the people those who were influenced by this, they initiated the cultural movement. एक तरीके का कल्चरल मूवमेंट था ये, जिसमें लोगों को अपने कंट्रीज के प्रति जो है प्यार, अपने कंट्रीज के प्रति जो है एक बिलोंगिंगनेस जो है क्रिएट करवाई गई थ्रू फोक सॉन्ग्स, फोक टेल्स. आप अगर जर्मनी का एग्जांपल लो तो जर्मनी में भी इस तरीके का चीजें हुई. बाकी जो कंट्रीज थी वहां पे भी इस तरीके, जैसे फ्रांस में जब रेवोल्यूशन हुआ तो भाई कलेक्टिव आइडेंटिटीज क्रिएट करी गई. तो this was all under the romanticism only. जब हम पोलैंड का
Okay, ma'am.
पढ़ते हैं, जिसमें लैंग्वेज was considered as the base for the revolution. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I'm done with the reading.
Done with the reading. Anything that is not clear or understood?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
What about others? Jigyasa, Samarth, Viresh, Raghav?
No
Srishti?
doubts, ma'am.
No doubts?
No doubt, ma'am.
Fine.
No doubts, ma'am.
Fine. So for this chapter, you don't have any map, right? History, this
Yes,
chapter
ma'am.
particularly, you don't have.
Okay, ma'am.
Only you need to be thorough with the chapter, right? Shall we start with the question answers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you all have the books with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
First question, Daisy. Write notes on Giuseppe Mazzini, Count Camillo di Cavour, the Greek War of Independence, Frankfurt Parliament, the role of women in nationalist struggles. Giuseppe Mazzini, who will tell me about Giuseppe Mazzini? Aiza will tell or Ananya will tell?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Gargi.
Ma'am, Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary who was born in Genoa in 1807. He became a member of the secret society of Carbonari. As a young man of 24, he was sent into exile in 1831 for attempting a revolution in Liguria. He subsequently founded two more underground societies, first Young Italy in Marseilles and then Young Europe in Bern, whose members were like-minded young men from Poland, France, Italy, and German states.
Okay, only this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. I hope others have also marked from where she was reading. Class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one, Count Camillo di Cavour.
Ma'am, he was the chief minister of Sardinia,
Yes.
Piedmont.
Yes.
Ma'am, he led the movement to unify the different regions of Italy.
Okay. He was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat.
Nor a Democrat.
Everything is given in the book only. Then,
Yes, ma'am.
can you tell from which page you are reading, Naina, of the book?
Ma'am, page number 21.
Yes. You may
The
underline
first
from there.
paragraph.
This whole thing, this whole paragraph, up till where they have to write?
Ma'am, till Austrian forces in
Habsburgs.
18. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In 1859, right?
9.
All have
Yes,
underlined?
ma'am.
All have underlined?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Now coming to the Greek War of Independence.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Pavni.
Ma'am, an event that mobilized national feelings was the Greek War of Independence. The growth of revolutionary nationalism in Europe sparked off a struggle for independence among the Greeks. This began in 1821. Nationalists in Greece got support from other Greeks living in exile from many West Europeans.
Yes.
Greece was known as the cradle of European civilization. Ma'am, more points to be added.
You can you need to write about, if you want to add, you can add about that Lord Byron, who was the English poet who arranged for the funds. Then you can write that in the year 1832, Greece was finally declared as independent under the Treaty of Constantinople, right?
Constantinople. Okay, ma'am.
Right. Then comes the Frankfurt Parliament. Okay.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, beta. Gargi, tell.
Ma'am, in the German regions, a large number of political associations whose members were middle-class professional businessmen and prosperous artisans came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for an all-German National Assembly. On 18 May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession to take their places in the Frankfurt Parliament, convened in the Church of St. Paul. They drafted a constitution for the German nation to be headed by a monarchy subject to the parliament.
And it was dominated by the middle classes, so it lost mass of its support, and ultimately it was disbanded. The assembly was disbanded, right? That whole paragraph that you have on page number, Gargi, please tell which page number?
I'm 17.
Page 17, second paragraph. You can cut short it as well if you want. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, then comes the next question. The participation of the women in the nationalist struggles. You can write the next paragraph that you have about the women's struggle for the Frankfurt Parliament.
Yes, ma'am.
Few
Yes, ma'am.
from there you can take. Then you can also take from that German unification also. Right? Right, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then what steps did the French and Viennese take to create a sense of collective identity among the French people? I think this answer we have already done. When we were doing that topic, I told you the answer as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is, who were Marina and Germania? What was the importance of the way in which they were portrayed? Anybody for this answer? Daksh? Daksh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell the answer to this question.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes. Daksh, you don't know?
I cannot hear you actually.
Why
May
you
I?
hear me? Wait. I am asking you, answer this question, Germania and Marina. Marina. Can you hear me now? Daksh?
Ma'am, may I?
Hello. Yes, beta Naina. Batao.
Ma'am, first, Marina. Marina was christened as the allegory in France which is a popular Christian name. It underlined the idea of people's nation. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty and the republic, the red cap and the tricolor, the cockade, the
Cockade.
statue of. Similarly, Germania was also the allegory for the German nation. In visual representations, Germania was a crown of oak leaf where the German oak stands for heroism.
Fine. But you need to write about Marina and Germania. You can simply say that these both were the allegories of France and Germany, right?
Germany respectively, yes.
Respectively. And
Yes,
then you
ma'am.
that what importance, like if they are asking, no, what was the importance of the way in which they were portrayed, then you can write about both. That they were basically, they stood for,
Okay, ma'am.
like, you know, they stood as personifications of ideals like liberty, republic. The importance of the way in which they were portrayed was that the general public could identify and be familiar with their national symbols, understand their symbolic meaning, and instill a sense of national unity within themselves. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Chaliye. Next question is briefly trace the process of German unification. Children, tell me, have I given you flowchart for this German unification and Italy unification?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so in the next class, you remind me, I'll give you flowcharts for these, right?
Okay, ma'am.
That way it will
Okay,
be easy
ma'am.
for you to learn also, and you know, you can use these flowcharts for your exams in answering the questions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How much time we are left with? 3 minutes. If
Ma'am, 3 minutes.
I dictate, will you be able to write? No. Okay, next class I'll give you flowcharts in the next class. Remind me, okay? Moving on to the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
What changes did Napoleon introduce to make the administrative
Ma'am, may I tell?
Yes, tell beta Harsh.
Napoleon introduced a civil code of 1804, which is also known as Napoleonic Code. Did away all the privileges based on birth, established equality before the law, and secure the right to property. Napoleon also simplified administrative divisions, abolished the feudal system, and freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues. In towns, too, guild restrictions were removed. Transport and communication system were improved.
Okay. All these points, I think they are already given in the book. You can copy it down from there. And I gave you a question also based on the same, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, there are some questions for discussion. Discuss the following. So, explain what is meant by the 1848 revolution of the liberals. What were the political, social, and economic ideas supported by the liberals? Can you tell? Class?
I'm just finding out.
Yes, yes, you can.
May I?
Yes, Beta Gargi, tell.
And it's on page 17. Parallel to the revolts of the poor, unemployed, and starving peasants and workers in many European countries, in the year 1848, a revolution led by the educated middle classes was underway. Events of February 1848 in France had brought about the abdication of the monarch, and a republic based on universal male suffrage had been proclaimed. In other parts of Europe, where independent nation states did not yet exist, such as Germany, Italy, Poland, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, men and women of the liberal middle classes combined their demands for constitutionalism with national unification. They took advantage of the growing popular unrest to push their demands for the creation of a nation state on parliamentary basis.
Then the next part you can write from page number . page number 9, where politically it emphasized the concept of government of by consent. Right? Got it? Page number 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Politically